to yes on what you're looking for.
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula Bore Formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people. If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
Mute. Now that works.
Yes, I do believe that. Whoa, fascinating. Dr. Boritz, Heart of Influence here on this Why Wednesday. We're so grateful for everybody who's here today. And we're exploring the superpower of integrous influence. Bella Verita, there's a lot of fine folks that Dr. Bort always assembles. So it's an honor and privilege to be working with such a heart-centered, growth-minded, brilliant, and impactful leader. I'm so happy, Bella Verita, that you're back from Greece, sitting here in studio today. And shall we get to chatting about who's here?
We shall. And we got Dr. Bart in partnership with Andrea Catania today for Leaders in Healthcare, Heart of Influence, Sean Callagy. And first, from South Lauderdale, Florida, double board certified functional internal medicine physician, providing integrative and high quality care to patients, generally beginning with consistent lifestyle changes like diet and exercise, good sleeping, hygiene. Yeah, you got some good hygiene. And stress modulations, extensive training and experience in different aspects of functional medicine, and board certified as an anti-aging and regenerative medicine specialist. I think you're good there too. Let's welcome to the show, Dr. Pare Ramos.
Hi, everyone.
Hello, Doc. How shall we refer to you? As Dr.
Ramos.
It's Dr. Ramos. Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ramos. Appreciate that. Welcome to Dr. Bart's Heart of Influence. And Dr. Ramos, Plato, the Greek philosopher, said, play a game with me for an hour and we will learn more about each other than if we speak for a year. So we kick this game off with a fun fact. It's a headline, not a story, something that can be adventurous, a proud moment, exciting moment, fun moment. For example, I'm a blind man that has taught sighted people to ski, surf, and scuba dive, right? But anything, Dr. Ramos, that we would expect to hear, perhaps, and we'd say, Dr. Ramos, no way. So please, what is your headline? No way, fun fact.
I was selected as an expert at a TV show when I was pregnant with my first baby, and I wasn't expecting that, they were gonna call me, and they did. I was like 5 months pregnant, and I was live with no TV expertise in the past. So it was extreme situation. It was fun in the fact that the first question that I got from the judge, It was about like why people they get into a tunnel vision when they are dying, and I had to improvise. So I had to say it was lack of oxygenation, most likely that's what's happening. So it was all like my heart rate racing. And since that point, like running into people and trying to ask for my autograph and things like that when I go to the Caribbean. So that's something like, I like it. I really like never say that, but my husband, he's a neurosurgeon. He's like, yeah, you have to say it so people are happy about seeing you. You have been on TV for 5 years. And I'm like, so yeah, that was my
that is a super cool fun fact. We're going to get Dr. Ramos' autograph. Let's go.
We're going to get Dr. Ramos' autograph.
Let's go do the thing. So let's just here to join Dr. Ramos.
Joining Dr. Ramos from New York, 35 plus years in life science capital markets, assisting emerging growth companies with global stock exchange listings and capital acquisition, has served in leadership roles, including president and managing director of multiple organizations, expert in life science, investment banking, and investor relations, providing integrative programs for early stage life science companies. Let's welcome to the show, Robert Bob Giordano.
You have to unmute.
And just unmute for us, Bob.
Bob, you have to unmute.
Bob, you're still muted.
Hey, Bob.
Left, Bob.
We're going to play like Bob unmute, Bob unmute, Bob unmute. Play Bob unmute. While we're waiting for
Andrew,
Bob.
I think the more you say it, I think it's definitely not, going to get us there. So, but that's amazing. So let's go back to Bob.
We'll come back to Bob in just a moment. And next up from Porta Villa, Vanuatu.
Bob is here. Okay, Bob is here. Hello, Bob. And what is your fun fact?
My fun fact is that I'm 88 years old, and because
You're
I have
88 years old?
and this is the real color of my hair, by the way.
Okay, I'm blind, actually, but you sound like you're 55. I'm like serious. That's
Well,
amazing.
thank you very much. Biologically, that's probably about accurate based on the test I've taken. I'm very fortunate in that I'm blessed with bringing up my genetic grandchild who's now 16. So I really have to live to be 100 to see him through college, and I'm married to a well-known holistic medical practitioner. With all of that, what I do for a living is help life science companies raise money. But right now, one of the companies I'm most interested in is one that is working on trying to solve the Alzheimer's problem through a combination of lifestyle changes, which is radical.
Thank you.
Totally
Awesome.
radical. Because
Totally
everyone thinks
radical. Love the fun fact. Clearly, you're doing something right, Bob. Thank you for being here. We're coming back in a little bit. Belvrita, who's next?
Coming up from Port Vila, Vanuatu, I'm not sure, coached 5 Olympic volleyball games, has won Olympic gold, bronze medal, and author, speaker, serial entrepreneur, and blessed father, was head coach for the Canadian, and what am I saying, Vanuatu? Am I saying that? Vanuatu teams, and is project manager for Japanese national team, co-founded 3 nonprofits, owns several businesses using sports and business to help people achieve high performance. Let's welcome to the show, Steve Anderson.
Hello. Happy to be here.
Steve, welcome to Dr. Barton, Andrew Catani's Heart of Influence, and congratulations on being an Olympic medalist. We are very present in the mathematical and masterful dynamics that means. It's an honor and a privilege to meet a master. Congratulations, and please, your fun fact.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. And well, first of all, I'm impressed with Bob's hair color. I've got all this gray. Talk with you about that one. My fun fact is I am the first and currently only African-American to coach an Olympic volleyball team.
Wow. That's an amazing.
Wow.
So that's, yeah, and it's traveled me all over the world, and currently I'm in Tokyo, Japan. So it's very blessed.
Yeah, and congratulations on that blessing, that stand, that disruption, that breakthrough. Gender dynamics, well, diversity, equity, inclusion, belonging is a topic I speak on often. Love hearing that. Congratulations. Welcome Bella, we have masterful, disruptive rock stars.
We have a rock stars for sure.
Because it's Dr. Bart's Art of
It's
Influence.
Dr. Bart. And Dr. Bart only surrounds himself with rock stars. Next, from Toronto, Canada, a neuropathic doctor and nutritionalist combining a passion for knowledge and love for travel, studying and teaching different forms of medicine all over the world, using best ancient medicine and modern science to help high performers optimize their potential, reverse aging, and have more energy and get their sexy back. Let's welcome Dr. Val Frank.
Dr. Val.
That's Val. Sexy back, embarrass you. You want some sexy back?
Dr. Val, please help me and say your fun fact, please.
Well, a fun fact about me is that I started actually out in marine biology. I studied marine ecology.
Wow.
Yeah, swam with sharks and have a baby shark's tooth from that.
Wow.
Fun. So where did you swim with sharks?
In the Bahamas. So I studied at a field station there at San Salvador Island when I was in high school and got a high school credit for it. And then went back later to basically main Bahama Island and went scuba diving there. Basically, Stewart Cove. It's very, very popular.
Yes, dear friends of ours, love Stewart Cove and all that they've done and the impact they create in the world. Amazing to have here, Dr. Val. Welcome. We got Dr. Val. I like talking about sharks instead of the other thing, but let's go.
Getting your sexy back. Next up, from Puerto Rico, one of the busiest plastic surgeons in the world, built the largest chain. He can help you get your sexy back. Built the largest chains of surgeon centers in Canada and a real estate I'm not sure what that says, executive chairman of health tech company providing software solutions to help hospitals and medical practices, founded a group of imaging, wellness, and regenerative and longevity clinic driven to change the landscape of medicine worldwide. Let's welcome to the show, Dr. Sanjeev Kaila.
Hey, how are you guys?
Dr. Sanjeev, welcome to Dr. Bart and Andrea Catania's Heart of Influence today. Welcome, welcome, and please, your fun fact.
Yeah, no, it's great to meet you. Fun fact, so your example of treating blindness, we actually are curing blindness. One of our advanced imaging technologies is being used in Argentina right now to actually cure what's called dry macular degeneration. And we are basically with an interventional procedure seeing the ophthalmic artery of the eye, and we're dilating it, causing blood flow, because we've actually proven now that atherosclerosis is the #1 cause for it. And that has drastically changed the landscape of retinal medicine and retinal surgery. And so that's one simple fun fact of some of the amazing technology that we're bringing to the world.
That's amazing. Well, thank you, Dr. Sanjeev. As a blind man, grandson of a blind man, and many blind people in my family, I thank you. And you're going to screw up the whole unblinded thing, though, dude, if I get my sight back. So, go, slow the roll until this is all over the world, and then we'll get it. Dr. Sanjeev.
And if you see me, you might just pass out, too.
I might just pass out.
You might just pass out.
I might just pass out. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjeev.
Thank you, Dr. Sanjeev. Next, coming from Florida, servant leader and entrepreneur, investor director, and COO of a life science healthcare company, founded what became a global powerhouse in sports management, content production, corporate consulting, and humanitarian causes, served on various boards, capital campaign as an indirectly responsible for leadership, raising over $250 million for nonprofits and faith-based causes. Let's welcome to the show, Sherman Brown.
Thank you.
Sherman, welcome to the Heart of Influence, and please, your fun fact.
Thank you. Fun fact is, I don't know if it's a fact, but it's more of a statement. Servant leadership is not a noun. It's not an adjective. It's an action word. And I dare people all over the world, every single solitary day is something that we all can do, is not only perform a random act of kindness, but perform a random act of servant leadership. And one by one, you literally can change not only your community, but you can really literally can change the world.
Amen. Love it. Sherman, I feel your heart, your aspirational energy, and let's go get it. Welcome to Heart of Influence. Thank you.
Welcome to the Heart of Influence,
Glad to be here.
Sherman. And let's go from Boston, Massachusetts, founder of Second Chance University after transforming his own life from a 100-year prison sentence to becoming a Harvard Fellow, a deep commitment to helping others break the cycle of incarceration, providing education, mentorship to support those in need, creating opportunities for personal growth and redemption, ensuring that everyone has had a chance to succeed no matter what their past. Let's welcome to the show, Andre Norman.
Andre, welcome to the Heart of Influence, and please, your fun fact.
My fun fact is in my junior year of high school, where I flunked all 3 years leading up to, I was my high school's first ever foreign exchange student. I won a scholarship and was deemed to have the most potential of any kid in Boston Public Schools in 1984. I went to Europe for a summer, and it took me a while going through prison to make it around, but I proved them right.
That's awesome, Andre. Thank you. Really appreciate that powerful and inspirational fun fact. Andre and everyone, we are more than 1,350 episodes into the Heart of Influence. We have more than 8,000 people, amazing folks like yourselves on the show. And this is truly a heart-stirring, impact-driven show that Dr. Bart and Andrea put together. So thank you.
Speaking of Andrea and Dr. Bart, first, from Sarasota, Florida, plastic reconstructive regenerative surgeon, board certified, #1 best-selling author, 52-week success plan, international speaker, hosts Prescription for Your Transformational Radio, runs a social media platform, #RealPeople, #RealConversations, #RealSuccess, nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize for his humanitarian work. Let's welcome to his show, Dr. Bart Rademacher.
Dr. Bart, impact player, heart-centered man that you are, integrity oozing from every pore of your being. Please, Dr. Bart, what is your fun fact on your show today? Thank you for bringing all these heart-centered, growth-minded people together.
Well, I brought kissing to the next level in just in a matter of 1 month. Managed to kiss a stingray, and then after that, some baby goats. Super cool.
Yes. Dr. Bart, love you, brother. And that may have been a little bit of unblinded Grand Cayman and Long Beach Island magic. Yes, we kissed stingrays, we've kissed goats, and Bella, maybe, just maybe, we'll see later. Let's go. Thank you, Dr. Bart. Shall we do the things?
Yes.
Let's go, sir.
From Nutley, New Jersey, the deal attorney, having led over 200 capital market transactions in the past 25 years.
Wait, is it Andrew Catania?
This is Andrew Catania.
The Andrew Catania?
Shh.
Yes.
Shh. Taking companies public and the 7 different ways to do it. 2 years out of law school, built $1 million solo practice from the basement as a single mom with 2 young daughters. Proudly served for over a decade for the board of National Investment and Banking Association, helping companies get connected to thousands of members and funding sources. Executive producer of the Heart of Influence, general counsel, and chief ecosystem officer at the one and only Callagy Law. Let's welcome Miss Andrea Catania.
Andrea. Miss Andrea Catania, please, your fun fact.
Thanks to the influence of this work, I infuse myself with endorphins throughout the day. And so far, as a 61-year-old woman, I have done 750 push-ups. And I have 2 more sets to go.
Look at Andrea Catania. That is unbelievable. Beast, queen, heart-centered impact player. That's her, yes?
That is her.
That's her, yes?
I want to know, Andrea, if you were on a 10-hour flight from Greece to Newark, like where would you be doing your push-ups? Would you just like get down in the middle of the aisle and just start doing push-ups on the plane?
Yes.
It's like, yes.
Yes.
I got some stepping up to do.
Let's go. Andrea, thank you. And this, everyone, this incredible woman, who, by the way, was diagnosed with dyslexia in high school, did such an extraordinary job of introducing everyone, is the co-host of The Heart of Influence. And she began her career in influence as an 8-year-old selling crafts on her parents' front lawn. By the age of 19, she was a 7-figure business generator in the space of network marketing. 24, 25, and 26 years old, she was three-peating like Michael Jordan, but instead of basketball, in business brokerage, in a male-dominated industry where she was the first woman ever to be number one, let alone 3 straight years, and the youngest person, male or female, ever to be Nevada's number one business broker at the young age of 24. And then she began to train entrepreneurs and Fortune 500 companies. In fact, in 2019, every sales team that Bella Vreda worked with doubled their sales. Skier, surfer, scuba diver, adventurer, makes out with stingrays, goats, and maybe her co-host. We'll see about that. Right. This woman, is truly an impact player in all the most beautiful ways. 2-time, now about to be 3-time published author who raised 8 figures for charity, 8 figures in Blind the Team in the past 2 years. And in 2023, courageously, publicly, and powerfully defeated cancer. Let's welcome to the Dr. Bart and Andrea Catania Heart of Influence, the woman that put the heart in it, Bella Vreda. Bella, from Greece to New Jersey, your fun facts.
Well, I don't know, because I was thinking about making out with you later until I found out that you and Dr. Burt were making out with goats while I was out of town. I'm not quite sure how I feel about that.
We'll have to ask Dr. Val about that.
That seems a little strange, but yes, my fun fact is I too in the past though have made out with goats and stingrays at past events, and I just got back just about a couple of hours ago from a trip to Greece with my sister, where I did 1 million hours of yoga and downward dog and flew in and ran into the office to make Dr. Bart's Heart of Influence because I did not want to miss this. So here we are, and that is my fun fact for today.
That's a beautiful fun fact. Thank you, Bella, and welcome. Yes.
Well, thank you. And
Let's
it's great.
go.
It is great to be back. Great to be back with the one and only Dr. Bart. And let me introduce my co-host, the man that makes out with goats and stingrays, the man that Tony Robbins said, there's no one who leads with more heart and more integrity than Sean Callagy. He beats world champions like Bet Key at body surfing competitions. He is only one of 2 attorneys to win 2 top 100 national jury verdicts between 2014 and 2016, and the only one that's blind out of 1.2 million attorneys. In fact, the state of New Jersey actually named him one of New Jersey's most influential attorneys. He has spoken on stages such as Disney, T-Mobile, Salesforce, Tony Robbins 18 times. And when he's not busy flying around, speaking on stages in front of thousands of people, he's an incredible philanthropist that raised nearly $10 million for refugees in the Ukraine. Let's welcome my co-host, Goat Making Out, Sean Callagy.
Thank you, Bella Vreda. And since we had a little conversation about marine biology and sharks, I will go with this. I'm a blind man that, yes, has taught sighted people to ski, surf, and scuba dive. And 12 months ago, while surfing in Long Beach Island, New Jersey, I hit a shark. It turned and bit my surfboard while I was on it. And that is
Dr. Val is like doing this number is
Yes.
like mouth open, mouth covered as like
Yes.
in complete shock.
Yes, I have the board to this day to prove it. Yes, so that is my fun fact for today, Dr. Val. Yes.
That is a
Yeah.
super fun fact. And I've seen this board and I
Okay.
think I was there that
Yeah,
day.
and Long Beach Island, 1 mile from our beach house, is where the original Jaws shark attack happened in 1916 that inspired Peter Benchley to write Jaws. That is a Discovery Channel Shark Week episode. Check it out sometime. And that is where I was bitten by a shark on my surfboard. Yes. So let's go. Who's going first?
Let's kick this off. We'll go with Dr. Ramos first, and then we'll go with Bob second so we can have some time to find that unmute button.
Yes. Okay. So Dr. Ramos, we're exploring the causing of yes, because everything happens after yes, with our patients, with our clients, for philanthropic fundraising, for everything in our life. So to illustrate this, Bella Vreda is going to be anybody you want her to be. She could be an ideal patient, ideal client. She could be a charitable fundraising partner, somebody famous like Oprah Winfrey or Warren Buffett, or your next door neighbor that you want to, ask to go to the movies and hang out. anything that would be in service of you, Dr. Ramos. And it's 3 minutes. It's not have to be an ultimate sale. It could just be a yes for a longer conversation. So please, Dr. Ramos, who would you like Bella to be? They're going from hello to yes with.
Okay, so Bella, I want you to be, wow, it's tough. I don't know.
Yeah, any yes, Dr. Ramos, that would be sensible for you. Maybe a charitable endeavor you want her to donate to. Maybe she needs neurosurgery, but she's afraid. Like whatever.
Yeah, actually, like something more like in that category, like charity services. So in that regards, like, so it has to be an scenario that I have to put together, and then she will answer. Like if she wants to
like you're just having a conversation with her that would a normal conversation, that anything that you would cause yes with, potential client or patient or whatever serves you.
Okay. So just a patient that is coming like in an underserved area that would like to have more information about a newly diagnosed breast cancer. She's seeing her, and actually it kind of happened, early 20s, and she has 2 kids. So
okay, early 20s, 2 children, breast cancer, and she's really scared, and you're going to give her your diagnosis and be suggesting she goes forward with what your treatment protocol. Sound good?
Correct.
Let's go.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. I'm Dr. Ramos.
Hi, doctor. I'm doing okay. How about you?
Good, thank you. So Bella, you already know that we got some of the results for the lump that it was discovered recently.
Yeah.
So have you had any thoughts about of potentially what could be the reason for the lump, or anyone that you have talked to, anything before we discuss the results?
Well, I'm, expecting the worst. And I have not talked to anybody else, no.
Okay. So I wanted to know that whatever is the situation, the results that we're going to discuss now, there is going to be a whole team that it's going to help you to go through. And obviously, having your family and your 2 kids, we're going to help you and your family to, have all the support that you need. So having said that, so it's unfortunate, but again, there are solutions that the lump came back not benign. So it's a malignant tumor that we need to start treatment right away. And there are different options. We need to see a breast specialist first. We might need surgery, and there might be some other type of treatments that you're going to need to have. So I don't know if you thought anything or you have anyone that you can relate to that had similar situations. So I would like you to know that, again, this is something that it's going to be a long path. But the good thing is you're young, you don't have any other medical conditions. And that's something that we can take advantage of. We're going to need to run some tests, also genetics, which are just tests to make sure that there is no other family members that might be affected with the same condition. And obviously, the sooner the better that we can start implementing the treatment. And that's going to be, a better prognosis. So how are you feeling about the news?
Well, first of all, I want to say that I'm really glad that I chose you as my doctor. How, with what you've shared, how you've delivered it, I feel like I have hope. And so whatever you tell me the next steps are, I would be willing to do.
Okay. That's good to know.
Great job, Dr. Ramos. Beautiful bedside manner. I can understand why you have the success that you do. So great job. And next up, we got Bob.
Bob, who is it?
Do you know what Bob spells backwards says?
Bob, it's my middle name. Yes.
Well, I don't know what's happened. My phone is just not functioning properly. I can't. Bear with me 1 second.
Okay.
Dr. All right, I got it back again. Here we are.
Yeah, and Dr. Ramos, great job. Bob, who would you like Bella to be that you're going from hello to yes with?
I'm not sure, unfortunately, with the confusion with the phone, I'm not sure I understand the question. Can you pose
Sure.
it to me again, please?
Bob, you raise money, right?
Among other things, yes.
Yes.
Indeed.
But
Basically, yes.
Bella's got all kinds of money burning her pockets. So you want to have a conversation with her about investing money?
Sure.
Great. So yeah, so Bella's a potential investor. You guys met at an event. She's like, hey, well, like what's happening here? And you want to have a conversation with her and see if you could set up a longer meeting. And that's what's happening. So Bella, take a second.
And lucky for you, Bob, I just got full access to all Sean's bank accounts. So we have unlimited funds.
I would very much like to have you help me raise money for the effort that is going on to solve Alzheimer's with one particular doctor who's at the forefront, Dr. Dale Bredesen. And the reason for that is I believe he's got the only fundamental approach that can really work in the long term, which is the total adoption of the kind of lifestyle that exists in the blue zone. And in fact, he's in clinical trials right now at the FDA level to show that he can actually stop and reverse Alzheimer's. So it would be a very noble cause to have you help me bring in investors to grow his company, which is now handling about 30 of his patients.
So, so you're not only just looking for myself to invest, but you're looking for me to bring a group of investors that would all be willing to invest in. And what was his name again?
Two things. I would like it to be twofold. One, to bring in people who want to live for a long time vibrantly and at the same time be free of Alzheimer's, or if they're already having cognitive decline, slow it down and or reverse it. And at the same time, those people, in addition to becoming patients, can also be investors. Yes, it's a twofold approach. I truly believe that his approach is what will in the end be proven to be the only valid approach to solving cognitive decline.
Do you want people with Alzheimer's to invest so they can forget the investments that they made?
No, so that they can survive to enjoy the money they have.
Got it.
That's
yeah. Well, let's see what we can do to put a group of investors together for you and have that longer conversation.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Beautiful.
Excellent work, Bob. I am blown away impressed by the fact that you're 88 years old. It's like seriously off the charts. And again, I'm blind, so I can't see you. You sound truly like you're your mid 50s, like for real. So incredible job. And Dr. Ramos as well. Bella, please, the feedbackers.
The feedbackers, otherwise known as judges. This is the time in the show that we get to give back in the form of feedback. So it's going to be 30 seconds of feedback for either Dr. Ramos or Bob, something that they did great, something that they could do to improve, and then a little scoring system. Or like a next step. Would that next step be you'd rather go to the dentist and have a root canal than have a longer conversation with Bob or Dr. Ramos? Hopefully no root canals today. But maybe the next step is like a little mocha chocolate, a little croissante from Starbucks to have a little bit longer of a conversation. And if that's not enough time, you would be willing to rent a private room at the Capitol Grill, getting the nice seafood tower, the nice juicy steak. Unless you're a vegan, of course, maybe you're having salad and French fries, but you're not going to skip out on dessert because you definitely want to have the longest meeting possible. And if that's not enough time, you would be willing to rent a private jet, as Sean was just demonstrating, and fly anywhere in the world. Of course, picking up Dr. Bart first and flying anywhere in the world to have a longer conversation. Maybe you can go back to Greece because you can have a lot of conversation on a 10-hour flight. So how about we kick this off with Andre? And Andre, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Bob?
My feedback for Bob is I want to look like you when I'm 80. So I would have definitely included the fact that you are beyond a walking, not you're a walking miracle, you're a walking possibility. So your personal testimony would have gotten me to say, because just when you say, hey, I'm 80, I'm like, what? The whole show,
88, Andre, 88. He's almost 90.
He's got 8 years, 88. So your personal testimony to me would have added another level to the pitch, because you're a walking testimony of what good health could look like.
And Andre, what would you do? What would you want to do next? Like cup of coffee, seafood tower in the Capitol Grill, maybe a nice juicy steak, private jet.
I'm a Ruth Chris guy.
Let's go, Ruth Chris. That's what we're having. Let's go. Maybe a little filet. What's your steak of choice, Ruth Chris, Andre?
Bone-in ribeye.
Bone-in ribeye coming up with Bob. We got this, Dr. Bart, Andrea, Bella. Come on.
Come on, let's go. Next up, let's go. Sherman. Sherman, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Dr. Ramos?
Well, first of all, there's a secret here. I'm actually 88 as well. And it's a joke.
Don't be doing that for blind people here, Sherman.
Well, I tell you, I think his investment thesis is absolutely world class, best of class. And I think if we're depending on traditional medicine or the traditional markets to raise money to solve Alzheimer's, we're on a fool's errand. So I applaud him for wanting to be that single light of transformation. And I think if we can put together folks like ourselves, like-minded, like-hearted, singular vision, we could raise the necessary funds to do what he wants to execute. Count me in. Our company would be more than happy to. We're in the regenerative space. We'd be happy to participate in any way, shape, or form that we can. Worthy cause, my man, and applaud you for what you're doing. Because
Awesome.
at the end of the day, Alzheimer's is going to touch everyone. Everyone.
Yes.
So true. So true.
Thank you for that, Sherman.
We got to get down. Yep.
Thank you for that.
Thank you, Sherman.
And let's go, Steve. Steve, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Bob?
Yeah. I think it's just like what Andre said, your personal story, and I think is makes such an impact. Just giving someone an opportunity to feel your authentic care for what you're doing. People are really looking at you, so they want to invest, but it's like your story. Why are you actually doing this? And I think that's really appealing to someone who wants to put in. So I know it was a short sort of pitch, and you're going to have a follow-up meeting, but the fact that this is something that you really care about personally, and the global population is actually getting older. How many people is this actually going to affect? So I think that's a really important thing.
Yeah. And what would the next step be? A little cup of coffee, dinner, private jet? What do you got?
Well, the next step is again getting together, whether it's dinner, whether it's coffee, but it's really
a little Capitol Grill. That's what I'm hearing. And what would be your meal of choice?
Meal of choice. I am a steak man myself.
Which steak?
For me, the filet mignon works.
Let's go. I love this man. We're having filet with Steve and Sherman and ribeyes and all of it. Let's go. I'm so hungry right now. I'm so hungry.
You are definitely hungry. Let's go, Dr. Sanjeev. How about your 30 seconds of feedback for Dr. Ramos? Just unmute for us, Dr. Sanjeev. Sitting in such a cool yellow chair. Let's unmute. Dr. Sandeep, I'm going to come back to you when you find that unmute button. Let's go, Dr. Val. Dr. Val, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Dr. Ramos?
Thank you so much, Dr. Ramos. Your personality, your expertise, your learning, your knowledge really came through. There was a lot of professionalism. And I love that you checked in at the end and said, how are you feeling? I think with that particular journey, the most important thing is creating that connection to the person that you're sitting in front of and saying, hey, this is not a diagnosis in front of me. This is a human being. And just thinking about all of the emotions that person would be feeling. I loved how you checked in and supported that. So I thought that was
amazing, Dr. Val. Love it. And next step would be?
Oh, well, definitely. If we're doing it, we're going hard, we're going home, we're going to Greece. And that's a blue zone. So we're looping the whole thing in and having some seafood and living in the blue zone life and preventing Alzheimer's and cancer all at the same time.
Going back to the blue zone.
Dr. Val in the blue zone. Let's go.
And then Dr. Sanjeev, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Bob?
Yeah. So for Bob, I think I'm really curious. I think it was very interesting. There's a lot of really useful, valuable information. I'm very curious about his natural black hair color without having any dye. I'm really curious to learn more about, how he's doing that, whether it's catalase or some other sort of enzyme or what else he's doing, or whether it's totally just a food diet thing. It's very curious to me. I'd love to kind of sit with him and explore some of that, kind of unique aspect of being 88. That's one of the things that doesn't make him look 88. So, yes.
Super cool. Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Dr. Sanjeev and Bella Verita.
We got Andrea Catania, and your 30 seconds of feedback for Bob, please.
Bob, I felt, and I think we all felt your heart. This is not merely a company that you're raising money for. This is a mission that you're on to truly make the world a better place. And I think we all felt that. And by all means, I want to go to Greece too. I haven't been there in a long time. So
we're going to Greece.
Take everybody. I want to take everybody on this call.
Stranded in a drive-in with Danny Zuko going back to Greece.
Going back to Greece. And Dr. Bart, how about your 30 seconds of feedback for Dr. Ramos?
Yeah, wonderful job, wonderful certainty, absolute. I think that's so critical for any kind of doctor. But one thing I would say, and I've had the blessing to be hanging out with these cool people at Unblinded Mastery, is that the first thing you want to connect with is the person, really listening to them as to where they are. And I know you did that at the end, but I would actually start that in the beginning and really find out who they are, where they are, what's going on, and then play into all the other stuff. But absolutely, I think Greece might work, Cyprus might work, Malta might work, any of those places, I'm in.
I'm going on that plane.
With some steaks, because I'm hungry. So amazing, Dr. Bart. Dr. Bart, Andrea, everyone, wonderful job, truly. Dr. Ramos, Bob, wonderful job in the participant seat. And now Bella thinks it's only hospitable if she gets to stick me in that participant seat and put it to me with Andrea and with Dr. Bart, please.
Yes. So Dr. Bart, as you know, and everyone, this is the time of the show that I have the honor and the privilege of putting my co-host on the hot seat in a scenario that he has no idea about, because I've been over here cooking them up as the show has been going on. Ultimately, Dr. Bart, you get to choose what scenario Sean goes from hello to yes on. Of course, as you know, you can change anything about my scenarios, or you can scrap them all together and come up with something much, much harder on your own. I think I got some pretty good ones today. Are you ready, Dr. Bart?
Absolutely. And it's going to depend on your mood and how hard you want to make it.
Yes, let's make it as hard as we can. Option number one is I did read that Seth Rogen's mother-in-law suffers from Alzheimer's. So I thought option number one is Bob. Sean could role play Bob going from hello to yes with Seth to gather 30 investors to support this doctor. And I didn't get his full name, Dr. Dale something or other.
Bredesen.
Yes. So it says get the 30 entrepreneur investors to invest in that. So that is option number one. Option number two is that Sean could role play Dr. Ramos going from hello to yes with the patient, convincing them their insurance isn't covering her services and convincing them on why it is worth paying out of pocket to work with her. So that is option number two. And then option number three is I thought Sean could role play Andre going from hello to yes with the Fortune Brainstorm Tech Convention that is going to be coming up in San Francisco to be their keynote speaker for the event for $100,000. So those are the three options I got for you today, Dr. Bart. Any of those tickle your fancy that you would like to put Sean on the hot seat for?
Well, I'd love to bring in variety. And since Andre hasn't been up yet, let's get Andre on the stage.
Let's get Andre on stage. So, and do you want Sean? So Sean will role play Andre. And do you want Andre to be the speaker event person for the event?
Okay.
All right. Let's do it.
Tell me what I got.
So you are going to play the role of Andre, and Andre is going to play the event speaker booker for the Fortune Brainstorm Tech Convention that is coming up. And they've had like Steve Wynn, they've had Tim Cook, they've had Sundar Pichai of Google be their keynote speakers. So you're going to pitch Andre as the keynote speaker for 100K.
Okay, and Andre, give me one headline as to why they would want to have you as the keynote speaker.
I went from prison to Harvard in the White House and beyond.
I love it. Let's go. Yeah, I knew that I heard you before, but that is helpful. Okay, and it's Mr. Jones will be the person there. Hello, is Mr. Jones available?
Yes, this is Mr. Jones. How may I help you?
Hey, Mr. Jones. Andre, we had a 3-minute conversation scheduled for today. It's still a good time for you.
Definitely is a good time. Great to hear from you.
Yeah, it's great to hear your voice as well. Very grateful for it. Mr. Jones, I know that you have so much going on in the world, and I'm very grateful for the opportunity. This event is enormous. You've had such incredible speakers before. If I may ask, what was present for you and the why behind you accepting this conversation with me? I'm honored. I think there's a lot of great reasons for it, but I don't want to pitch you something. I want to speak into your listening. So what's the why behind your acceptance of this conversation?
My why was you were out of the box. We've been in the box with some great people. We wanted to try something different. And you've come across on a lot of tables as out of the box, but different in a good way.
Well, I appreciate that enormously for sure. And my understanding is that the overall why behind the event is to create disruption, impact. I've read lots about it. I certainly know a lot about you, Mr. Jones, but anything else that you want to share about the why behind the event itself and what you on a macro level, micro level want to create, please.
A lot of our attendees show up and they're in their nice suits and they're great people, but I want them to be penetrated as individuals, not just as company people. And I've heard that you have a way of getting through to the people beyond their titles.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Mr. Jones. So from that place and wanting to penetrate humans' hearts, souls, minds, am I hearing that correctly?
100%.
Yeah. May I share a couple of things in our final minute or so that may or may not resonate with you?
Sure.
Yeah. So, Mr. Jones, there's 2 different ways to go with a speaker. One way to go is with famous people, and with great humility and complete respect and a lot of empathy. A lot of folks that are famous are not great speakers. But there's also a distinction between a great speaker and a masterful speaker. And there's a distinction between a masterful speaker and a masterful actualizer of an audience. And what I set out to do is to profoundly disrupt the listening and patterns of the audience in a heart-centered, powerful way, varying 4 different basic fundamental energies of group influence: a little fun energy, some aspirational energy, see Martin Luther King, Willy Wonka, or Robin Williams in the fun energy, and the dynamic of heart-centered energy, every loving facet of the human experience, and the fire and youth energy of a powerful football coach, see Vince Lombardi, meets whatever other aspirational impact leader you've seen. From that place, we create a magical journey and experience, not talking at people, but engaging people, opening up the listening, shattering the patterns that they brought forth. And in the end of the conversation we're going to have, my outcome, and I always hit it with great humility, Mr. Jones, is to not only leave people curious, not only leave people inspired, but to profoundly cause awe. And when awe is created, we can actually move people forward. So if you're looking for awe, Mr. Jones, and a disruption to the pattern with fun, aspirational, heart-centered, and absolutely decisive energy coming forward, I would be your person. If you can feel some resonance with that, I'd simply propose a 30-minute conversation where I can provide some more how-to we'd actually do that. So, Mr. Jones, how would it resonate with you or not to have a 30-minute follow-up conversation to see if this is what you believe your audience needs? And with great humility, sir, I do believe they do. Please, Mr. Jones.
It sounds like a winner, and I think we can book you to talk to the event planner team, and you got my vote.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And shall I set that up with your assistant, Tom?
Yes, definitely. Just email Tom and just let him know that you want to talk to Jane from the Event Planners Conference, and she'll take care of you.
Awesome. Well, thank you for that, Mr. Jones. Out of roll, Andre, how'd I do as you having a conversation with Mr. Jones about speaking at this big event?
No, I mean, the presentation was phenomenal. The directness, the wording, the framing of it is great. And I was just saying, as I was saying, and I have to get a copy of this.
You will get a copy of this. And Andre, I'm very profoundly moved by you, what you stand for, your congruence, your certainty. I've had the privilege of speaking at a lot of places, you know, as you heard in my bio. And yeah, you're an impact player. I can feel it. It resonates and comes through. So thank you for being here today. And how was your time today, Andre, overall on Dr. Bart and Andrea Catania's Heart of Influence?
Oh, we're in the building. You know what I'm saying? I got to meet some great people. Sherman's not DMing me back, but I'll forgive him for that because he's someplace lost. But
you were DMing me?
Man, listen, man, it's in there. I was like, you said you was in Atlanta. You said Atlanta Beach. So I figured I'm in Atlanta, you might be here. So I was like,
awesome. Andre,
we're gonna really go get a steak tonight.
Let's go. Appreciate that a ton. Sherman, thank you for being here. I love your energy. Impactful, powerful, disruptive. How was your time today, Sherman, on Dr. Bart and Andrea Catania's Heart of Influence?
It was absolutely fantastic. But I would ask this of you, Sean and Dr.
Yes,
Bart. This is a special group. There's a special synergy and energy with this particular group. If there's any way possible that we can stay connected, this group, and interact and maybe revisit again as this group, I think there's some phenomenal things that we can create and execute and activate.
Yeah, for sure, Sherman. And we'll also share with you a press release that we just sent out where we have launched Black Business Unblinded with John Harmon, who is the most influential Black business person, according to many, in the state of New Jersey. Governor Murphy's knees quake when he gets a call from John Harmon. He just received the award for the #1 chamber of commerce in the world. And what he said is that every chamber needs Unblinded. And we didn't pay him to say that. And so we're doing a lot of cool things there. There's so much to talk about. Yes, we will definitely follow up. Dr. Bart will cause that to happen. And thank you, Sean, for being here. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, Dr. Ramos, I really appreciate you jumping in the participant seat, kicking it off. You did a wonderful, wonderful job, you know, at that. I love your story. Love what your husband's up to in the world as a neurosurgeon as well. And please, Dr. Ramos, how was your time today on the Heart of Influence?
I really love it. This is my first time. I really didn't know about, you know, this opportunity to have, you know, all these great people and all together and sharing all different ideas and trying to make the world, you know, the best possible. We know that there is a lot happening, but, you know, giving just our best to each of, you know, every person that we can encounter in our life that can make a huge difference. And by the way, Robert, I actually know about the Apollo program by Dr. Fredrickson. I'm one of the certified providers, and I have already many patients enrolled. And, you know,
wow. Oh, how wonderful. How wonderful.
Awareness, and I love it. And I'm a believer. So yes, I got.
I'm delighted to hear that.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I'm a certified Apollo. Mm-hmm.
Amazing. So thank you for that. Let's go. Beautiful job, Dr. Ramos. And Dr. Sanjeev, we're going to come to you after Bob. So be coming up next after Bob. Bob, really appreciate you. Of course, we've seen the fountain of youth, the power of possibility in you. And Bob, how was your time today on Dr. Bart and Andrea Catania's Heart of Influence?
Well, it was really enjoyable. I am genuinely on fire with the idea of trying to change the whole health path that's related to lifestyle. And what I've done for myself is based on science. I've learned a lot through my wife, but fundamentally, you need a desire. I have it in the child to bring up, and the creation of a daily routine that's manageable. Create your own personal blue zone, and you can do it. And part of my desire to have a larger role with Apollo is to do just that. So I'm delighted to be here. I really didn't understand the whole format to begin with, so I hope I wasn't off base in anything that I've said.
No, you did a great job. The format is bringing people together to have a shared experience because all business is built on relationships. All relationships are built on shared experiences. And of course, then the question becomes how to create an efficient shared experience to get to know each other in a gamified, fun way to learn a lot more than if we had a cup of coffee, and we did today. So thank you for that, Bob. Let's go, Dr. Sanjeev. Thank you for what you're doing for blind folks. Just don't screw up this whole business thing we got going from Blinded. Just kidding. Great job, Dr. Sanjeev. And please, how was your time today?
Yeah, no, this was a very interesting experience. Just kind of dropped in this in the last minute, so that's the first time here, and it was interesting, exciting, fun to see, and it sounds like a lot of great, innovative people. I mean, we're doing some really cool, innovative data and imaging that's just groundbreaking, and I think for all of the wellness clinics that we can work with, I think every one of us really needs good data. So our imaging is 0.1 millimeter pixelated color 3D imaging with full VR. And so we can see every part of your body, which is amazing. And I'd love to, talk more with people on this team, afterward. It'd be wonderful. Thank you.
And Dr. Sanjeev, we've also had a lot of impact in fundraising. I caused Dr. Kirk Adams, the president of the American Foundation for the Blind, to win Business Mastery. Out of the 600 teams there, there's been more than 10,000 teams ever played it. And our team won the most money ever raised there. We created an extra, had Hall of Fame celebrities from all over, an extra television show come to the American Foundation for the Blind's 100th anniversary gala. Dr. Kirk Adams is a dear friend, so we have all kinds of different folks and intersections with people with disabilities and challenges and other things. So definitely lots to talk about. And thank you for being here today, Dr. Sanjeev.
Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Val, thank you for being here. And how was your time today, Dr. Val?
Thank you so much. It was lovely as always. It's always so much fun, and meeting everybody here. Everybody's so inspiring and such a great quality and such a great level. And as I'm just moving forward in terms of the space that I want to hold in the world and how I want to impact, just being able to hear the process that you go through to help people really get the yes, not from a way that is about sales, but in a way that is about connecting to people's hearts and really finding the community and the people who are going to step out in the world and be true leaders and shine that greatness. It really is more about activating that greatness, and I love that.
The innovative distinctions of healthcare that are present here, every single innovative distinction and the precision of the scientific base is no different than the space of influence. And one of the great misnomers of the world is that influence is a soft skill. It is as hard a skill as neurosurgery. It is as hard a skill as curing blindness. And in fact, the funds that are raised and all the beautiful things that happen critically in healthcare are all on the other side of causing yes. And there is a science that differentiates one from another, like Godzilla from an ant. So thank you, Dr. Val, for being a stand for it all and for recognizing that. And Steve, thank you for being here today. Really in a participant seat, some beautiful job in feedbacking, the great energy brought from the feedbackers today, for sure. Steve, how was your time today?
Yes, Sean, I really enjoyed this. I didn't really know what I was getting into, but I really enjoyed the gamified approach that you had. And also the fact that this is a community. A lot of times when you're making a difference in the world, you're doing the journey by yourself. And the fact that you're bringing everyone together creates this team of champions where you can really be supported and make a real impact. And I think that's one of the things that change makers really struggle with, is doing the journey by themselves and not being well themselves while they're on the journey. So this is an amazing thing that you're doing, and I really appreciate being invited here and really discovering Unblinded. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Steve. Dr. Bart, with Andrew Catania, you made this happen today. Massive gratitude for you. You cannot find a human. If there's one fault with Dr. Bart, is he's too selfless. And being too selfless is actually a thing. It's a longer conversation for a different day, because we need to have sustainability and exponentiality, and that comes from receiving value for all the value we provide. And if this dude can be measured in value provided, he's a trillionaire. Dr. Bart, please, your final.
Yeah, I'm so appreciative of you and your entire Unblinded team. I've been relearning my ABCs and was invited to have even larger A's in this session together with Andrea Catania. And so, yeah, that's a super fun. These people are absolutely incredible, and I'm stepping up to have even more of an impact. And once again, so grateful that you give me that opportunity. So thank you.
Yes. And thank you, Dr. Bart. Andrea, real quick, we're running up against it. Any final from you on the beautiful job you did today, bringing together this impact group?
Just want to thank you and Bella so much for providing this incredible platform and an opportunity for us to bring people to a space where we can be proud to connect them and to perhaps teach something of tremendous value, the superpower of Integrous Influence.
Thank you, Andrea. And for everybody, because you're here, thanks, Dr. Bart, thanks to Andrea, on behalf of Bella and I, we have 3 quick gifts for you. The first is an invitation to our webinar on October 22nd, Mastering Men, Women, and Money with what is the foremost relationship expert on the planet. I will bet $1 million the statement is true. By far not close, Miss Alice Armstrong, who's become a dear friend and actually has been just profoundly bring her work forward in the world, including having the relationship programs with Tony Robbins be her work. And she's did a podcast and had 400,000 downloads of it. So, you're welcome to be there. Second is our group influence book. The science we talk about, we outline in this book. It's not fun stories. It is a book, a textbook for you to understand public speaking, management, and leadership through a new, profoundly more impactful prism. And finally, a business acceleration session. This is a checkup and a diagnostic mechanism for finding the leakages and us taking our work to the highest levels possible in the world. If you come to this session and you do not receive profound value, tell me, and I will give you $1,000 for wasting your time. Yes, that is my guarantee for each and every one of you here. And Bella Vrita, thank you on behalf of you and everybody here today. We end every show by saying this: I may be physically blind, which I am, but I'm absolutely certain as the possibilities for acceleration sit in front of all of us to take our missions everywhere they should go. At some level, sighted or not, Bella, we're all blind.
And just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Really great job today.
Bye,
Thanks, Dr. Bart. Thank you, Andrew Cattaneo. Great work.
Bye-bye, everyone.
All right. Bye.